Coming from their home studio, straight into your ear hole. You are now listening to As I Live and Bree with Liv Matthews and Jay Jansen.
Welcome back, all our Bree livers. This is Liv Matthews.
And this is Jay Jansen.
And today we've got a special guest on. I'm so excited. It's Mr. Facts himself, Bentellect, TikTok star, YouTube sensation. Ben, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks.
Did you feel like you needed to be like ready to rumble or something in that moment, Ben?
Just for a second, I'm like...
I might have got a little excited. I do that. You have rose to TikTok fame so quick. I mean, how amazing is that?
It's honestly unbelievable. It's funny because TikTok's one of the few social media platforms where people can go from nobody to somebody fairly quickly. So, I mean, it's still been crazy, and I mean, it's been like 6 months since it all happened, and it still is just absolutely wild.
Well, you entertain me so much, and I think it is the infectious laugh, and you have beautiful teeth.
My mom's a dental hygienist. She
that makes all the... Well, thank you to Mama, because those are beautiful teeth.
Hey, I really appreciate it. It's funny because when I started getting a lot of growth on social media, I thought people were going to start like just picking apart things about my appearance, and I'm like, what's it gonna be? He's got, bad teeth, or he's, his nose is crooked, or what, what are they gonna say? Like, it all ended up being nice stuff. So I was like, okay.
Because, I mean, you are a handsome fella.
Appreciate that.
Yes, definitely. I'm married. I'm not hitting on you. Well, just a little bit. No. So I did want to ask you, after the Billie Eilish roast thing, which was not really a roast, it was, I don't know, it was just a comment, but everybody just took it to extremes. Her fans kind of come for you just a little bit. How do you handle negative comments?
Well, yeah, and it's so funny. I was literally on a podcast like 3 days ago, and they were like, so tell me about Billie Eilish.
Right.
Oh,
I love how it's like still a topic because it happened back in October, and I doubt I ever cross her mind unless she's on TikTok. She's like, no, but I mean, because I do get a lot of hate, just because the nature of the content that I put out, it's kind of looked at as like easy content, and there's not like a lot of thought behind it. I get a lot of flack for quote unquote stealing people's tweets and whatnot. So anytime, I mean, my vibe in general is just positivity, and I think that kind of like shows through on the page and whatnot. So whenever someone is kind of, throwing shade at me or whatever, I just brush it off because, I don't want to give attention to negativity or anything like that. I mean, the Billy thing for me, I didn't really take it personal. I was like, she's just clowning me a little bit. Like,
right.
That was it. And then I like moved on. And then like I still get messages like to this day. And that was again 6 months ago from Billie Eilish fans being like, oh, she roasted you. Like your career's over. And I was just like, dude, it was a flash in the pan. Like, it was one story that lasted 24 hours on her Instagram, and then, like, that was it. But, like, her fans are stans, so obviously they just, like, ran with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know that my mental health could take the negative comments. Like,
you just gotta not read them.
Well, that's the thing is I would just have to be like just blanket statement that I will never respond to any negative comments, that I will only give the positive ones my attention.
Yeah. Well, and that's the tough thing because I read my comments and I read my like DMs on Instagram and TikTok and such because I want to be able to like interact with my fans, especially like comments, whether it be on like TikTok or Instagram or YouTube.
Yeah.
And so it's like you can't read through all of these comments without running into, some negative ones. But truly, I would say that on all of my platforms, most of the comments are positive comments. So it's like, but I mean, look at the nature of my content. I'm not doing anything controversial or anything like that. So it's pretty hard to hate on me, even though people still manage to do it.
Wow. So that's shocking to me because I did find you on TikTok and have been a huge fan just because it is wholesome, even though I can be a dirty girl, but it's very wholesome, and it's something that I could scroll at work and not have to worry about anything. But it is a very simple concept, but freaking genius.
Right. So like, how much time are you spending on Twitter, or is people like sending you stuff?
Twitter, yeah. It's funny. I always basically, like, when this whole thing started, so little side note, back in 2014, I was, like, huge on Twitter. And not, like, for any, like, specific reason. I just tweeted all the time. And when I say huge, I mean, like, I had, like, 40,000 followers, which is, like, a lot. And because I just started tweeting. I was actually going through a breakup, and I was really bored. So I was like, I'm going to just get on Twitter. Because, like, Instagram wasn't that popping, and, like, no other social media platform existed. So I just started tweeting, like, all the time. But long story short, when this all started, I was going on Twitter, Instagram, meme pages, like, just going through my camera roll and finding, like, random tweets and memes. Because when I first blew up, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then I was like, well, maybe I'll just keep making these videos. And I found myself spending, like, a couple hours a day just finding the tweets that I was going to read, because I always wanted to find ones that were, like, really funny. So my reaction was, like, natural, and I wasn't just, like, forcing a laugh, which I get accused of as well. But
yeah, I don't know that you can force that laugh. It's so genuine, you know?
Yeah, my theory about it is that, well, I'm just, like, a naturally, like, laughy person, but my theory is that, like, people don't laugh as much as I do. So when someone is, like, laughing so much, they just think that it's like, oh, ha ha ha, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh, he's just like, hey, but, like, I just, anyone who knows me in real life knows that, like, I'll just crack up at, like, nothing. I'll be like, oh my God, that guy just took that left turn. That was ridiculous. But yeah, just wild stuff. But now, actually, people send me tweets and memes through my Instagram. But, it gets kind of frustrating because, well, not like frustrating, but people will send me, like, the same, like, those people where it's like, oh, you guys see this meme? And it's like, oh, I've already seen it.
Right.
For me, I can, like, legitimately say that because, like,
right. He's like, no, really, I have seen it like 40 times.
I mean, I think I have like 600 or 700 like videos, not all of them like tweet reading, but the majority of them are. So it's like, I've read, like, someone told me one time, they're like, dude, you're eventually going to run out of memes. I'm like, I don't think so, man.
No?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think people are going to continue to say dumb shit,
Yes. And I saw that you have been on Twitter since 2010. I had to look up because I was like, no, that's not correct. I don't think that Twitter's been around that long. Twitter was developed in 2006. I had no idea. I just joined in December.
No kidding. I don't know why I think at one point I just like, because I also make rap music.
Yes, we saw.
I've been rapping for an eternity. It's so funny because I tried to blow up making rap music for so long, and then out of nowhere, 3 months on TikTok, and it's just like ultra fame. It's just crazy. But when I first started rapping, like, what you were supposed to do back then in like 2010 was basically like create an account on like every platform. So I had like a Twitter and like a Reverb Nation and like every possible account, like, put it up there, and it's all Bentellect. So it was great when all this stuff started to take off because like all my accounts are Bentellect. I didn't have to go chasing after anybody for the username because I already had it.
It was amazing because I found so much content on you from back then that I was just like, wait, we didn't even know this, because you've been on TikTok. It's just mostly the memes and stuff. I do enjoy when you do the other videos as well, but my favorite is when you do it on YouTube because you get to see a little bit more of your personality.
Totally.
And my favorite is when you called your sister for the prank that you were in jail. She is freaking gangsta. She was all for it. She was like, ride or die. Yes, I'm coming to get you.
Yeah, oh man, that's my younger sister. I called her like 5 times before she finally picked up, and my younger sister's kind of like a homebody. Like she doesn't really hang out with anybody. So like if she gets a phone call and it's a random number, she's just not picking it up. Like period.
Yes.
But, I practice the same thing.
Same.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I saw that trend somewhere. Like that trend actually is like fairly old. That was like early last year. People were doing that on TikTok, and
it's still a good one because I used to be a correctional nurse, and I saw the other side of it, and it's pretty funny.
Oh gosh, yeah, no, it's but her reaction was perfect. She was like, "What's up?" And I'm like, it was kind of hard for me to like keep a straight face and like just like I had to like in the video you can see I'm like I need to laugh this out before like I actually call.
You said that. You said hold on. I got to laugh this out for a minute. And I thought it was hilarious. But, there's like that little meme going around. It said, you'll get $1 billion if the first person that you call doesn't answer. Who would that be?
So we're calling your sister.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to get a number after the show.
I know, right? For me, it's either my mom or my husband. Two of the most important people. Like, they're never going to pick up my phone call.
Well, you know what's funny? My mom is probably the hardest person to get a hold of for me. Like, she just doesn't pick up. She golfs a lot.
Oh.
So she's like golfing constantly and she'll leave her phone in the car. But like, even during winter, like I'll try, if someone was like, hey, I bet you $100 your mom doesn't pick up the phone, I'll be like, I'll take that bet every day of the week.
Every day of the week. I'm with you. I'd be right beside of you. And I'll tell you that I am just so proud of you. I have 2 boys and a husband, and they don't clean up for anything. Mm-hmm. Every time that you post a video or something, some people are just not aware of the background.
Uh-huh.
It's spotless. It brings my anxiety down so much. I love it.
Freaking Mrs. Clean over here. Like, who the heck gets on, it's like, what? Your house was so tidy.
Right. No.
I love it.
I appreciate it. I mean, I live alone, so it's tough. But I also grew up with 3 sisters and spent, like, my dad was working like constantly and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. So like from a young age, my mom was like, clean it up. So like for me, I just like was raised to like keep it clean. When you live with 3 sisters.
So you know what? That might be your next claim to fame. Like, you could legitimately get some of these kids in line, Ben. Can you call mine?
Yeah. We've got a couple.
Do the dishes, clean the bathroom, you know what it is. Like,
get your underwear out of the floor, and what the fuck is on this sock?
Every time.
Yeah.
So I saw on there. So me and Jay, we had like a guess of what you did, before your TikTok fame, like for like your everyday job.
Yeah, we've got 20 on it, Ben. Can you help us sister out?
Yeah, we got 20.
Okay.
So I'm thinking.
I want to hear the guess.
Yeah. So I'm thinking food service. Here's the reason why, like a chef, like a prep, like something like that, because I see your videos of you cutting the fruits and vegetables, and what really sold it for me was the onion, because I knew how to do all the other ones. The onion, you brought me to a different level, because I was all like, whoa, keeping the bottom on so it didn't, go all over the place when you're cutting it. That's freaking genius. So can you settle the bet?
Yes. So, so that's your guess, and what is the other guess?
I just said maybe at some point in time in your life you were a barista. I don't know why. Fucking felt right, man.
She loves coffee, and I'm gonna tell
needed you to be a barista. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what's funny? Not only was I never a barista, but I also do not drink coffee.
Oh, I don't drink coffee either. I love the smell
how you guys
of it.
live. I don't. Coffee is life, man.
So you are partly right when you said that food service. So I went to culinary school when I was like 18.
Yes.
And then I worked in the restaurant industry for 6 years. So that's why I know how to do all this stuff. And like in a kitchen, there's just a certain way to cut up stuff that's like the most efficient.
Right.
And
so you don't have a lot of waste. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. As fast and efficient as possible, or get it out the kitchen, like type stuff. So I did that for 6 years. And then the job I had before I quit to do this full time was actually I sold insurance.
Wow.
I never seen that one coming, Ben. But
although you're very jovial, and I think that people like you, so I would buy something from you.
So what are you selling later? Is what I hear.
I'm selling the whole account. No.
Yes. So you're handsome. You've got really nice teeth. You clean. Clearly you can cook. Is there a Mrs.? Do we have a Mrs. Fax herself somewhere?
A Mrs. Fax.
Yeah.
Currently, I am dating somebody.
Good for you.
I appreciate it. Yep. So Mrs. Fax hates all of the fame. No, I'm just kidding. But she doesn't. She's super supportive. I had known her for a while prior to we had dated in the past and then got back together recently, actually in the past year. And it's just like,
so she's kind of been along for the whole entire journey, huh?
Yeah. I mean, not like the whole thing, but yeah, pretty much. And like,
but she knew you before, so you know that she's not there for the fame.
Yeah. It's funny because I met her in 2018 and I was still like trying to get the rap career popping. Mm-hmm. And she's one of those people where she's like, well, I live in reality and it's just not realistic to be famous. And like she would tell me, she's like, you'll probably never be famous. famous. And I'd be like, but it's funny because it was the first time. Like, she was the first person that I was like, I told you so. No.
Right. No shit. Like, that's probably why you guys are truly back together now, because you picked up the phone and was like, dude, I told you I was going to be famous. Bam.
Yeah.
Right.
I called her out like, listen, remember that one time for those 10 times you said that? Guess what? No.
Yeah, right. In your face.
But I kind of go with her as well. I mean, realistically, the chances of being famous is slim to none. It really is. And if you are, it's usually like the 15 minutes of fame, and then what do you do with it?
Right. And that's it. And it's funny you say that because a lot of people on TikTok, I mean, the odds of becoming famous, what people don't realize is that behind the scenes, I've been on social media and I've been in entertainment for a long time. Because I'm sure there's people who think of me and they're like, oh, he just like found a trend and just like ran with it. But I've pretty much been like preparing for this for a long time. When I went viral for the first time, I knew exactly what to do. Other people, when they go viral, like I'll watch them and I'll see them make mistakes that like I didn't make because I had been preparing for it.
Right.
And usually you're right. Like, even though it's easier to go viral on TikTok, it's usually like one trend. And then, because when people go viral on TikTok, if they're going to continue doing whatever made them viral, they're kind of like, that's like their shtick. You know what I mean? Like when people think of me, they think of me as the guy who reads tweets. If there's like Addison Rae, people think of her as that girl who does the dances. You know what I mean?
Right.
So lucky for me, what I went viral for, I was able to repeat over and over and over again. There's this guy who just like went crazy viral on TikTok, has like 150 million plays on his video. And I see him doing different stuff, but it's tough because it's like, is that, trend going to die out? And is your 15 minutes going to be up? Like, you don't know. So
right.
I mean, luckily I was able to, kind of push past and break through that barrier to become something more than just like a guy who's viral on TikTok for a couple weeks or a month.
Yeah, but did you see it going to this level?
You
hoped.
In my head, it's funny. There's this like video of me that my buddy filmed when I first went viral on TikTok, and I was like talking all crazy. I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to get like insurance policy, and and I was like, and I was watching the video the other day, and I was like, dang, I really had that much faith in myself.
Yeah,
like,
I was real full of myself right there.
Yeah, right. And I've become more humble like the bigger I get, because to answer your question, no, I did not think it would be nearly this big. Like, I remember when I had like 250,000 followers, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy, even with like 250,000 followers. And that's a lot, like, don't get it wrong, but like compared to 5 million, it's not a fortune. And I think Instagram Reels really had like a big impact on me becoming bigger, just because I was able to, like, when I started, I had 1 million followers on TikTok and I had like 5,000 on Instagram. And then pretty close to like when I was like really starting to take off on TikTok, Instagram came out with Reels, and I was like, well, I'll just post my TikToks on Reels and see if they do the same thing as they did on TikTok. And sure enough, they did. And so then I went from like 5,000 to like 400,000. I mean, it took some time, but yeah, I mean, there was a number of things I was doing on the back end to kind of like get bigger and bigger, because people who only focus on TikTok, it's kind of like that whole don't put all your eggs in one basket type thing.
Right. So do you get recognized out in public?
Well, Corona probably helps you, right?
Yeah, Corona helps a lot. If it weren't for masks, I assume I'd be recognized more. I mean, I have people who will like drive by me and will stop at a light and they'll like be going crazy in their car, and I'll roll my window and say, are you Bentellect? You retweet?
Yeah.
And then it's so funny to me, so I'll just start cracking up and they're like, yeah. Like,
that's what I was thinking. Like, if I'm at, the grocery store and I hear you cracking up at something, it's going to be the laugh that I'm going to be like, oh, is that Bentellect?
Oh, for sure. Well, I think sometimes like people, when they see me, they like, if I'm like, usually when I get recognized, it's because I'm talking to a cashier. Like, I was in the elevator in Chicago at this apartment complex, and it stopped on this floor, and these two girls were like, oh, do you mind if we, ride with you? Because there's still like, everyone like the Corona, like not that many people in the elevator.
Everybody's in their little corner of the elevator.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And even just me saying like that was like, yeah, of course. Like, she's like, we're standing in the elevator, and her friend turns to me, she's like, are you Bentellect?
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
But it's just like the voice, I guess. It's like, I mean, I guess if you've heard me read, 500 tweets, you probably would be able to recognize my voice.
True. I had my first little sort of fan experience this week. So I'm legitimately at the store, and this lady keeps looking at me all weird, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Mm-hmm. And she sat there and she looked like she wanted to say something. So of course I spoke again. I was like, you doing okay today? She's like, I'm doing good. went, hey, oh my God, are you Jay? And I was like, yeah, I am. And she was like, I love your podcast. I've been listening to it for a while now. You guys are so fun. And I was just like, I appreciate it, thanks. And I got out to the car and I was like, how the hell did she recognize me? Like we have a picture,
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's even crazier for you to get recognized just because you're right. It's just your voice. Like they don't have like pictures to go off of. But even with, I think if it weren't for the mask, I think like people who have any type of like fame, whether it's like internet famous or not, would probably get recognized a lot more.
Well, I need to do way more with my social media then, because on the Instagram, every time I post something, they're like, oh, it's against the rules. There's no like links and all this. And then on TikTok, I legit have 2 videos for the simple fact is that I feel that I have a face for radio.
Face for radio.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that in my soul, man.
Right. But when I got 400 likes, or not it was 400 views. It was only like 28 likes. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so great. I mean, what would I do with like 5 million?
She would be sending out personal fucking thank you notes. That's what she'd be doing.
I probably would have spent all my time sending out, thank you so much.
I wish I could do more like that. I mean, you know what I used to do?
What?
Right when I first blew up is I would go through and I would like every single comment on my videos.
Oh,
and back
shit.
then, it was actually kind of easy to do, but at one point it got like pretty time consuming because there'd be like, 1,000, 2,000 comments, but like people would comment, they'd be like, hey, I just want to say it's super cool that he likes everyone's comment because it'll say liked by creator or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like it just got out of control and then videos started getting, like 5,000, 10,000 comments and it was just like, yeah, I can't, do
Right.
this.
Yeah, I'll
I
be
can't-
liking my ass off all day. That's what I'm going to be doing, guys. I'm not going to be putting out any more TikToks. I'm going to be liking y'all shit.
Well, do you believe in like the whole like TikTok algorithm? There's a lot of people like posting saying like, TikTok's taking down my videos. They're doing this, that. I mean, you're pretty wholesome. And I think that, of course, they're not going to take down your videos and stuff. But did you see like any lull in followers?
Well, I will tell you one thing. I did get banned for a week
What?
on TikTok in October.
What for?
Well, so I was, I don't know why I did this, but my fans were like, you should read hate comments. And I was like, okay. So I found like 8 different comments that were just like talking like crazy trash to me. Well, TikTok, it's against their community guidelines to promote hate speech, and that's technically hate speech. So they banned me for a week, which was actually like a huge disappointment because it was like, this was actually right before the whole Billie Eilish thing, like about a week beforehand. But I couldn't post for a whole week. And people were like, what's like, people were like flipping in the comments. They're like, what happened? Like,
Right.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, but I like put it in my bio and whatnot. But so I guess my answer to your question about the TikTok algorithm, it is a very peculiar thing because you'll see people with like way more followers than me. I'm talking like 40, 50 million followers, and they'll have videos with only like 500,000 plays. So basically, unless a video gets put on the For You page, which is essentially up to the YouTube or the TikTok algorithm, your video is only going to get views from your followers. So like, even if you go on my page, I have some videos that maybe only have like 300,000-400,000 plays.
That
Well,
I've
those
never
videos-
seen before. Even though I follow, you're on my For You page, I've never seen those before.
Yeah, and it's because for whatever reason, those videos don't end up on the For You page. So, I mean, sometimes they do. It just depends. So it's again, it's all up to the algorithm. From my understanding, basically, unless your video is like good enough for people to keep watching past, I think it's like 5 seconds, it's probably not going to end up on the For You page. Because like, if someone's watching a video, those first 5 seconds are crucial to whether or not they're going to keep watching. So if you can keep their attention between 5 seconds and 10 seconds, then I think it's like supposed to go like double viral, and then 10 seconds to like onward, it's supposed to basically just go out of control. But there really, in my experience, isn't necessarily a rhyme or reason for the algorithm. But when I started popping off, I think, basically some guy wrote some code and whatever I did, like, just fell into that pocket in the algorithm.
That sweet spot.
yeah, it just kept going and going and going. Because for like 3 months, almost every video I posted was on the For You page. It was crazy.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah. I kind of started Liv on TikTok.
She did, because I thought I was too old for it.
And I was like,
Everyone
have you seen this? And she was like, no. And I was like, dude, legit, last night, 4.5 hours down the TikTok hole. That's where I was.
My husband was like, honey, please, like, seriously, we like go to bed.
Oh my God.
But this shit is so funny.
It's a trap. It's just like Vine. Do you guys remember Vine?
I do remember Vine.
It's just like Vine.
I watched the Vines. I did not ever post my own.
I wasn't on, you know what's funny? I got on Vine. I almost never went on Vine. I just would sometimes see videos from it on like YouTube or Instagram.
Yeah.
And I joined Vine like 3 months before they shut it down. And it sucked because I was getting like really into it, was like posting videos. I didn't have anything go viral or anything even close to going viral, but it sucked because I was just like, man, like,
yeah,
right.
It's funny because when I got on TikTok, I had been on TikTok for a few months, but it was only like 2 months after I went viral that apparently TikTok was going to get shut down. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, not again.
Right.
Like, I like got, I'm like, finally, I'm like viral on something. And then turns out it's going bye-bye, but thank God it didn't. Like, yeah, I don't know where I'd be right now.
Well, that's why I'm so glad that you're branching out and you're on all the social media because, at any moment that can be taken away. And if you haven't taken that opportunity to do more things, then, there goes your fan base.
Totally.
I don't know that TikTok's going anywhere, though.
I mean, I don't think so either. But at the same time, you just never know.
True.
At this point, I'd be really surprised if it did. And I mean,
yeah.
And you're right. That's probably the biggest downfall that any creator has is if they only stay on TikTok. And it's hard to do because TikTok, things that do well on TikTok don't always perform well on Instagram or YouTube. Like other platforms are like, every platform is so different. But
right.
I mean, when things started, thankfully Instagram Reels came out because if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be as big on Instagram. I mean, that just helped. But I just kept doing it. I mean, the biggest thing I could tell anyone who like wants to be like a creator of any kind on social media is you have to be consistent. And it sucks, but it's got to be pretty much every single day. That's like the hardest part about the job. Like people ask me, they're like, oh, this must be like the easiest job ever. I'm like, honestly, man, it's the hardest job I've ever had, even though my content isn't super complicated. It's just there's so much stuff you have to do on the back end.
Right. It's time consuming.
Well, and you don't get a break. It's every day because you want people to be able to come back and see your stuff every day. Like, I mean, I don't think I've gone a single day without posting, mainly on TikTok, in like 6 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
So clearly now you're focusing pretty much on your TikTok fame and things of that nature. So no more with the music because, we've listened to some of your stuff and we actually were kind of digging it.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So ill as ever.
Ill as ever.
Ill as ever.
That is so funny. I literally hadn't heard that song. So I made that song like 10 years ago.
Wow. You look the same though. I'm going to tell you, age gracefully.
Hey, something worked out there, but that's so funny you bring that up because I was sitting on my couch like 2 days ago and I just like was thinking about like that song and I pulled it up and I listened to it and it's like, oh man. But no, music is definitely still in the plans. It was just really, I actually was still recording music like every weekend while I was still going viral when all this stuff started. I wasn't really like taking TikTok seriously. I was still like all music.
Yeah.
But then it just got to a point to where I was like, well, and COVID, kind of messed it up because like right when I went viral is when people were like, the shutdown happened in like March and whatnot, but like June is when I went viral and people were still just like stay inside. So like my studios were closed. It just made it easier to focus more on creating entertainment on TikTok opposed to making music. But I've still been like writing music and still do everything that I do with that. Well, not everything that I do, but it's definitely taken a backseat, but it is still in the plans. nice to have it be included, because at the end of the day, like, I don't see myself as a comedian as much as I do an entertainer, and as much as I'll still probably do some form of comedy, because like my two biggest passions are comedy and music. So it's like I wouldn't leave either of them stranded for as long as, like, you know, they're in me and whatnot. So I do plan to introduce that. I actually am going to come out with a song called Facts to the Max.
Oh my goodness.
Love
yes.
it.
And we need
It's
to make
gonna
it like
be
a TikTok sound as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get it to go. If I can get like Dixie or like Addison to like dance to that, I'd be set. But no.
Do you have
and
TikTok friends? Like, you know, like podcasters, we all kind of have like a little community and we try to support each other. Do you have those?
It's different. Like, I have followers who are like super famous, and like we've never talked, but they follow me. So I like, okay, the other day, do you guys know who Paul Wall is?
Yes.
Yeah, so Paul Wall duetted one of my videos the other day, and I was like, no way, because I used to listen to like Paul Wall and Mike Jones and all those guys when I was like 16 and whatnot. And so I saw that he was following me on TikTok, and that's where I saw him like duet one of my videos, and I followed him back, and he like sends me a DM. He's like, yo, like, I love your stuff. And I'm just like, this is wild. Like, I'm having a conversation with Paul Wall. Like, my 16-year-old self would literally shit my pants.
That's
Right.
hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, there's a few people who I've been in touch with, like Call Me Chris, if you know who that is.
Right.
She's fantastic. She is top 5 best creators in my opinion, like on all platforms. Francesca, I don't know if you know her from Too Hot to Handle. We've talked a few times, but it's just kind of like random convos. Like, they send me a DM or they'll send me a meme or something, and you know, we kind of chat. Like, Call Me Chris and me collabed a few times, and she's just been an early supporter of mine, and I've, you know, watched her basically become a superstar. So I'm always like there for her. You know, whatever. She's just cool shit. But I wish it was more like that. But the problem is, there's just like, TikTok is so huge and there's so many creators that it's like, it's really hard. Like, I've had like, you know, random combos with different creators, but there's not like, I'm sure there's people who have niches like the Sway Boys, and I'm sure, you know, Addison and, you know, the D'Amelios hang out and, you know, have their like group, but it's few and far between.
Oh, I wish it was a little bit more. I mean, I do see some collabs and it works for them. Do you ever do the live? I never see you on the live.
Yeah, you know, oh, that's so funny. When I first went pretty viral and like had 1 million followers, I went, some of my OG fans know, I would go live like 3 times a day. Like, I'd be bored. I'd be at work. I'd be on like my lunch break. I'd be like, what's up? Like, just go live. God, every time I go live, I'm like, I'm going to do this like more consistently, but I end up not. I probably haven't been live in like 2 weeks.
Do you have like a certain time that you do it?
If I do, I usually like to go on at like 8 p.m. like CST.
Yeah.
Because that's like the time where people are like, in most time zones, people are just like chilling. They don't like, they're done with everything for the day. They're either like laying in bed or like whatever. But I love going live because it's cool. I can like talk with people. It's more fun on Instagram because you can actually like bring people on the live with you. So like on Instagram, if I go live, I'll like do this thing. I'll just call a Q&A and basically like tell everyone, hey, you know, come on, ask me a question, then we'll move on, you know, kind of hot seat type thing. But it's cool because then, you know, it gives fans the opportunity to talk with me semi face to face and like, you know, say whatever they would want to say to me and whatnot. But I'm going to try and go live, or actually I'm going to go live more often on TikTok. Probably the goal is to go live on TikTok like twice a week. Anything more than that.
I'll be definitely watching out for you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
8 p.m. CST on the Tik Tok.
I love it. So I wanted to play a little fun game. Well, it might not be fun for you. It's just fun for me.
She's such a selfish bitch.
I know, I really am. I told you in December, I joined Twitter and I didn't really understand exactly how Twitter was. So the way I understood it was I needed to comment on as many people's posts, try to be the funniest that I can. You know what I'm saying? Like make it entertaining. Yeah. I have failed, I believe, in some ways. So we're going to play a little game. I'm just going to read you like a couple of my tweets and you can say, if it's good, facts, of course. If it is bad, then you could say whack. Okay. And then
facts are whack.
Yeah. And then me and Jay will rate it as well. So Conan O'Brien said in India, an elephant was rescued after falling into a well. Afterwards, the elephant said, I wish I could forget the whole thing. I responded, wow, that was deep. A deep well. And then responded again, I immediately feel regret for that comment. What am I doing with my life? Dad jokes, really?
I wouldn't have commented the second thing, but I'll give that a fact.
Okay.
I can always appreciate a good dad.
All right. So it was only half a fact. So yeah.
Half a facts.
Yeah. You're just like, I'm really trying to be kind to you. It was really whack. But And I get it because I felt the same afterwards. I'm very embarrassed by these, but because
she's bringing them to your attention.
Well, it's because it is so embarrassing. It's kind of funny, you know? So Whitney Cummings said, bodybuilder marries a sex doll after whirlwind romance. And I commented with hashtag submissive goals. Got into a little BDSM there, you know?
You shouldn't have to explain the joke.
Oh, see.
We've had this conversation.
You're like, I think he gets it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with facts on that one. That's subtly funny.
Subtly funny.
He's like, it's not funny at all.
Facts, but in the back, I'm like, extremely whack. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do this show of like extremely whack, and it would just be just all of my tweets, unfortunately.
So you're going to go to the latest tweets every two.
I might take this idea. Don't be surprised if
I'm totally game. Yes.
The facts are whack.
Yes.
Yeah, take our idea, just give us a shout out, man. That's all we ask for.
I'll hit the credit. You know where it is.
Yeah. I mean, you could even do like facts and jacked, either way. So Jeffree Star says, it's time to make s'mores and enjoy this 30-degree weather. I responded, I like how making s'mores is a special event for some, as I have them for breakfast most days. Hashtag, I'm looking like a busted can of biscuits. Hashtag, I need help.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
All right, that's double fact. That was
double fact.
You made up for it on that one.
All right, here's my last one. This is the one that I thought was the funniest, but my son brought it to my attention that it was highly insensitive. So I'll let you be the judge. So Chrissy Teigen, love her. She posted, oh, peanut butter the hamster died. In which I responded, RIP, no more peanut butter, just jelly time.
Oh my God.
That's horrible.
It's bad. I'm going to have to hit you with the whack.
Okay, it was whack. Okay, well, that was my best one. That's all I got. So
I like that you're commenting to it's funny because my favorite tweets to read are when someone says something and then someone comments and just says something totally savage. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what you're trying to do. Someone tweets something and then you post the comment tweet, and it's like some of those do, like, they just they're just so funny. It's kind of like a cliffhanger. You know what I mean? You like read it and then that comment is like the punchline of the joke.
Yes. Bless it. I've done a little better. I try to be, I tell you, it's like being a Karen on there. They're just like, oh, honey, come on. Just get off here. This is for the young folks.
Tough. It's tough. Social media, it's a big place. A lot of people with a lot of opinions.
Well, Ben, of course, we can find you everywhere. Your Instagram handle and all that stuff. Or are you just going to tell people just do the Bentellect?
Just do the Bentellect. No, hey, for all my fans and all my followers, I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. The continued support is absolutely amazing, and you guys are truly like the most positive, awesome fan base on the planet.
Well, we love you.
Hey, I love you too.
But thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate it so much.
Definitely. No, I appreciate you guys having me. I've had a blast talking to you.
And I'm going to be looking for the facts or whack. I'm definitely going to be looking for that.
I'm going to do that. Seriously. And I'll just like find tweets that I think are facts and find tweets that are whack. Maybe I can get it so that I don't know what they are until I actually do the video so I can like read it live.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Perfect reaction. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Ben, for coming on the show. We appreciate you, and good luck, man.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
We have the greatest fans in the whole world, don't you think?
Oh, the greatest fans. And I'm going to just say that we have like the greatest guests also. Like, what a great guy.
I know. Super, super nice. Love him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for tuning in this week with Bentellect, Mr. Facts himself. We had a great show with him and hope that you guys enjoy listening to it.
Facts.
I think we can't do that.
I know, we stole his thing. But just our call to action, as always, make sure to like, follow us, interact with us. We love it.
We do love the interaction.
Till next time.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.